Alt season is getting real close right now. In this video, I would like to give you the evidence for that and also the coins that I will be buying to prep for it, because a lot of people might not believe it, but we are sitting at the bottom and the real bull market yet has to come. Of course, Bitcoin has been in the bull market. There are some outperforming altcoins, but overall, the overall altcoin market hasn't been in a bull market yet. And that's coming. Right, of course, when not enough people believe that it will be coming. So let's get right into that. This is going to be a great video for that. I think that if you need some hopium for 2025, you came to the right place. So smack that like button, like Akon. That's silly. You know, subscribe, turn the bell notification on. Not going to cut that out. I'm just a dork. So first off, I'm going to show you a couple of charts that I think are majorly bullish for crypto in general. And then I want to explain to you why that money will flow into altcoins. And of course, the altcoins that I think are the best buys for between now and a year, basically. That's like where the money is really made in crypto in the post-halving year. That's 1.5 months ago. Right? So it's getting really close. What's funny though, if you look over the last 24 hours still, most of the coins that you see pumping right here, like I see 2 meme coins right here, right? In the top 100. That's Bonk and that's Mu. Other than that, we have Mantra, we have XLM, we have Quant, we have Radium, Ethereum Classic, for Christ's sake, right? Like we have the bigger caps that are quite pumping right now. Even the older dinosaur dead coins, kind of like who buys Ethereum Classic? Well, enough people at least to pump it with 18% this week, right? That's definitely a good game right there. And if we look over the last 7 days, you can see that a lot in this list is still a lot of utility as well, right? Mantra was one of the biggest gainers actually. Stellar, XRP, like come on, if XRP, then wow, right? A lot, and of course, a lot of meme coins as well. But what you'll notice is that the money is flowing back in utility coins. It's what my video of yesterday was all about. If you haven't seen that, go watch that. I think that's the kind of ultimate guide on how to treat this meme season that we have for now and make sure that you benefit from it before crypto goes into the next season, because it moves in seasons. It's not going to stay like this forever. The money flows, right? You want to be there where the money is going to flow to next, not where the money is already. Now, to make this a bullish Sunday, if we look at the logarithmic regression bands for Bitcoin, then we can overcomplicate whatever we want. But we can also look at this and be like, green is buy, red is sell. And anything in between is bull or bear market, right? We're still in the green. Although Bitcoin is 90K, we're still in the green. And we will stay in the green until Bitcoin is closer to 100K actually. So, of course, it's a psychological level that a lot of people gave for themselves. Like, wow, if it gets to 100K, I'm a sell or whatever. 100K is actually the start of the real bullish zone, basically, right? 100K is not the end of this bull market. It's kind of the start. Because, yeah, if you look right here, when we left the green zone right here, you know, Bitcoin, yeah, it was sitting at 3K. And when we left, it was 15. So 5x already, kind of like the 5x that we did right now. But we still had 15 to 70 basically to go. Here, when it left the lower regression band, it was $1,600 and it still moved to 20K, right? And I can give you more examples. Here, when it left, it was $20 and it moved to $1,300, $1,200, right? It won't be that different, right? I'm not saying it will go to the top of this exact range again, which we did in 2 out of the 4 cycles. So there is a 50% chance, of course. Diminishing returns are already here, but every cycle we do at least get to the upper, to the upper band, right? Not the upper band, but to the red band. And yeah, if that's gonna happen, like today, that would mean Bitcoin sitting at 200K. But we also know that the cycle for Bitcoin will last longer than today, and this will move up, right? So, yeah, I see a lot of people give 120K as a target. Mine is actually quite higher, but we'll see. Maybe this time is going to be different. I don't know. Could be, of course. Also, I want to let you know that if you look in the link down below, there is the Alpha Factory. We're now migrating to that. You can still get in for a very low price where we give early calls, alpha calls, but also insights in my portfolio, more private sales, exclusive videos, etc. So you might want to consider that, because we're going to drop some shit right there that you might want to be part of. If you look here also in the logarithmic regression band, we can extend it a little bit. And this sounds, what I'm going to say right now, it sounds like, wow, that's way too bullish. While in reality, this is just the data, okay? And this is the most realistic outcome, actually, if you ask me. So Bitcoin now sits at the lower band. We try to break out right here. We're not there yet. Right, but we always kind of break out in November 2020. Here it was in April, May 2017, etc. So it might happen now, it might happen in a couple months, but this is kind of the period. But where do we break out to? Again, almost touched the upper band right here. We went way in it, the upper band. Here also way in it, the real upper band. And here we touched it again, right? Let's say we don't do this or this, but we just touch it. That's like what the worst cycle so far has done, right? So worst case scenario. At the end of December 2025, kind of, well, let's say November 2025, yeah, the lower band is sitting at $290,000 and the upper band at $430,000. That's not, again, that's not a bullish or a unrealistic scenario. This is already encountering diminishing returns. And this is what happened every cycle so far. This cycle, we got close to it. Fair enough. So, but even if we get close to it, yeah, 250K, right? That's crazy. Now, why is that good for altcoins? Well, of course, if Bitcoin sits at such a price, which is 3x from here, it's not that weird, right? We are already at 90K, don't forget that. But if Bitcoin sits at such a price and we take that liquidity from Bitcoin and we put a lot of that in the altcoin market, that's insane, right? Quick math, this is cool. But this actually is also really realistic. Bitcoin, now, let's round it up. $2 billion market cap. Trillion, sorry. $2 trillion market cap. Let me put this in English. It could get to 5, right? Based on what we just saw. I think that could be pretty realistic, actually. 5 trillion. Now look at the altcoin market, right? This is the altcoin market. The dominance for the altcoin market. This has been in this parallel channel for 7 years. This is super accurate. And so far, it looks like we're bouncing off this bottom. I've showed this chart a couple of times before, pinned it on my Twitter, etc. This would be Altseason. If we get to the upper band, like we did last bull market twice, and the bull market before that twice, so there is a decent chance that we do this bull market again, right? If we get there, that would mean 30% dominance for the altcoin market, right? 30% dominance off of that $5 trillion is $1.5 trillion. The altcoin market currently sits at 280 billion, right? 5 trillion, 1.5 trillion, sorry, is here. Let me remove this thing real quick. Is here. That's a long way to go, right? We so far from the absolute lows of the bear market until where we are right now, gained 300%. From this point to 1.5 trillion is 420%. So that would mean that in a pretty, like, well, in my opinion, pretty realistic case scenario, we will see altcoins do more gains in the next year than what we have seen from the absolute bottom until where we are right now. That's kind of my price target, right? And you might say like, well, that's a 5x. What the fuck, man? Is that it? It's nice, but still, this is the top 125, right? Everything outside of that pumps harder. Well, not everything, but you know, things out of there could pump harder than what's in the top 125. For example, CeDeFi here did a 10x, right? So if it could do another 10x from this point. and there are coins lower cap than that. And there will be coins doing 20x's. Of course, not the high caps probably, but there will be. Altseason is not necessarily, though, where altcoins just go up on the dollar pair. It's where altcoins go up on the Bitcoin pair. I see a lot of people, they confuse that. They think about Altseason and they somehow mix it with altcoins should moon, right? Not necessarily. Altcoins on the Bitcoin pair going up is Altseason. So this chart is showing, is it Altseason or not? Well, so far it's not. And that's great because we have great opportunity. We're here, we're at the lows. Nobody believes it anymore. It all lines up, right? If this goes up while Bitcoin is going down, which usually doesn't happen though, but hey, theoretically it's all possible, then it could mean that altcoins still go down on the dollar pair. But Bitcoin really has to tank then, and this suddenly has to go, something really weird has to happen though. But in theory, that's still an Altseason. I don't think it's going to be such a disappointing Altseason though. It's going to be... I think the real last Altseason where the gains are really, really, really good. Because next cycle, the liquidity will be so much more, and there will be so much more altcoins that actually have already a good market cap. We see that diminish every cycle. It's really now or never when it comes to that. So this chart is suggesting Altseason is coming. Why? First, based on this chart, it's at this major trend line. It goes back to 2017, right? So it's not something to ignore. I'm not saying that it cannot break, right? If it does for some reason, don't come at me like, like, yeah, of course it could. But it's a very, it's not the best bet to take actually, right? Multi-year sport means something. Plus the fact that we happen to have the wick exactly at this line. Also, cyclical, right? I preaching on this channel like, hey, this time it's not different, and it turned out not to be, right? So if we look at the cycle, what happens in the cycle? Well, Altseason kind of started here. The bottom was in December 2016, was the halving year. Here, the bottom was in December 2020, the halving year. Look what happened after that. Altseason. Altseason. Now we are approaching again December of the halving year. This is the most likely outcome, right? Not maybe that high, but the the direction. That's chart-wise, cycle-wise, a very logical outcome. Plus, also, if you look at the fact that what do we need for an Altseason? We need retail, right? Retail is what we need. I mean, BlackRock is, they are nice and all, but they are not gonna buy your weird DeFi coins, meme coins, etc. They invest in Bitcoin, right? We need retail. Now, again, I have a very good theory about it. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with this. Bitcoin pumps, right? Bitcoin, it is mooning here. Retail sees that, right? I said before, retail will come as soon as Bitcoin will blast through all-time highs. I said that a couple of weeks ago already, but earlier as well. Wouldn't you know? If we look at the retail right now, what happened? Bitcoin finally made real all-time highs, and the retail is out of its downtrend, right? We had lower lows, lower highs, and finally retail is shooting up. Same as over here in the last cycle. You see Bitcoin here, we had previous top at 20K or so. Here we really broke it, and here's where retail also stepped in. Now we see the same thing happen right in front of us. That retail is looking at a 90K Bitcoin. That makes the headlines, right? But they don't buy that Bitcoin necessarily, right? Retail is gambling, doesn't have like that much money, maybe a couple $1,000, couple hundred, I don't know. They're not going to buy Bitcoin for maybe a 3x. They're going to look at altcoins. So retail will buy these altcoins. That will give the green candle. And that will make the people that are now already in the market look at these candles and be like, holy shit, it started. Let me get into these altcoins, into these utility coins and whatever. Memes will also run with it, right? That gets the ball rolling. Because again, look when last alt season happened. Alt season happened here. Let's say the January 2021 is where it kind of started, right? January 2021 was here, right? Retail stepped in, right? Like this was where retail started to explode, right when alt season started. Let me see, can we take it a cycle back? I think so. Here, it started in, let's say March 2017. March 2017. Here we go. That's here, right? It's right before retail started to step in. Also, right before that pump. It is kind of crazy how similar it is. I said for a long time, like, guys, this time isn't different, da 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 da. Watch out for like thinking that it is and making the wrong choices. But it kind of always scares me now if we look at this as well. Like, wow, even this is exactly the same. And that makes predicting an alt season actually pretty, relatively easy, right? But a lot of people, they don't look at that, especially the people that are in crypto, not like I'm on the charts every day. This is my job, right? Most people don't make the job off of it. They just look at it and occasionally, right? They're not behind the computer all day nerding, whatever. Right? So they have maybe a lot of emotion and they just look at this and be like, fuck, it's different. Well, I try to look at this and be like, yeah, but let's be honest. Let's take a look at the charts. Let's take a look at the cycle. Let's take a look at the sentiment. It all lines up, right? So this chart is suggesting alt season, right? It could happen this month. It could happen next month, which would be on average the most logical assumption because it always started in December. It could happen like 2 months later. It could happen February next year, whatever, right? That I don't know. And doesn't really matter that much. It's this period, within now and a couple of months. If I'm not sorry that I cannot predict it by the day, but that's going to be complete nonsense and I'm going to be wrong about that, right? Like I'm not going to try to do that. Then we have this chart, like I said, this is another chart that shows is it alt season or not. And I will get into the coins, but again, before you want to know about the coins, if you do not understand why there will be an alt season or if there is going to be an alt season, then these coins are useless, right? So this is really important stuff. Also, to make sure that you are bullish enough, because that's really a problem at the start of an alt season. People are not bullish enough, right? They either don't believe that it's coming, or they think like, well, maybe 2, 3x, bro, this is gonna fucking explode, right? It's kind of, the writing is on the wall right here. This is the others, also, dominance, again. Like I said, this chart has also been accurate for 7 years. 10 if you count this. Right now, in the bull market, it gets to the top of this trend line. Here in the bull market, it gets to the top of this trend line. Right? Even if we, for some reason, just go halfway, and I'm going to show you that, how extremely bullish that would be. So if for some reason we get a way smaller alt season, you will make a lot of gains. Right? Again, top of the trend line twice, top of the trend line twice. If something is broken, right, and we just go halfway, would that be bullish? Well, yeah, actually. Because here, let me overlay this. This is interesting, right? I love this shit. Some fucking nerd, maybe. I don't know. But this is really interesting if you ask me. Here, we also went halfway. But that was during the fact that Bitcoin was sitting at 40K, right? So altcoins were slightly outperforming Bitcoin right here. But they were slightly outperforming a 30, 40K Bitcoin. Now look at altcoins on the dollar pair, what happened there, right? They were sitting here. They were sitting quite close to all-time highs. A lot of coins 10x, 20x, right? They went crazy. Now, if we now go to the same level, maybe even, well, quite higher actually, but let's say we go around there, the same level, that something is broken, right? Which I don't even expect to happen. But if we just go here, we do that during the fact that Bitcoin is not 30, 40K, but Bitcoin is sitting 90, and by that time, maybe even higher. Right? So that would mean that altcoins on the dollar pair explode even twice as hard. So even if that happens, you will see that altcoins will completely take out this all-time high right here, cycle high, and easily this all-time high. And that's worst case scenario. So I do think that that's pretty interesting. Again, we just made the calculation of that $1.5 trillion, right? If Bitcoin goes to the highs that I think are likely and altcoins perform by 30%. Let's say Bitcoin goes to these levels, but altcoins just perform with 15%. Hey, altcoin market goes to $750 billion or whatever. Well, 750, that's still like way above the previous all-time high, right? 750 is here. That's 2.5x on average from this point, right? So if your portfolio already looks good, then at least it goes up another 2.5x from here, right? And that's if you are in the worst performing coins again, right? That if your altcoin performs on average, then you are not really in the best altcoin, actually. Well, at least not altcoin with the most returns. So I don't know, man. Looking really bullish. Also, if you look at the total tree, I don't discuss this thing too much, but this is looking pretty interesting, actually. We were in this falling wedge, and these patterns are bullish, right? And we see now what it did. We fell, broke out, retested, and completely went up. And the total tree is already making cycle highs. Now, the difference between others and total tree is the total tree includes these top 10 coins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. How come? We just see a rotation this week a little bit, right? We saw XRP pump, we saw Cardano pump, we still have Solana pumping, and these are high cap coins, so they are dragging the complete market up. But what I think we will see at a certain point is the rotation going on further, right? Bitcoin first, it's what we saw. Then we have the high caps. It's kind of what we start to see right now. And at a certain point, it gets into the low cap. So people, they take their money out of XRP. I might hope that they do that at least. And they put it into lower cap coins. So then we will see others going up. And that's where I think we as a bunch of dirty degens make our profits, right? Because my portfolio is not containing a lot of top 10 coins, actually, to be honest. So that's one thing that makes me very bullish on when it comes to Altseason. Now, also, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance, again, I'm not even going to show you. I showed you this so many times. But after both halvings, it took exactly 7 months and Altseason started. Next month is going to be month number 7 for this cycle. So it's not just that or just that or just that. But if you line everything up together, it all gives the same answer. That's not longer something that you can say like, nah, it's not gonna happen. Like, if we all base this on one chart, of course, that could be wrong. But it's all coming together right here. And that's what I think is pretty interesting, actually. Also, if you look at this, and this is, the altcoin market, once again, it's also pretty cool. Fibonacci retracement levels, they work for a reason, right? And if you overlay that, you can see that the altcoin market is now, and it's too soon to call, but the week is closing soonish, but it's trying to close above the 618. That's just a really important level. You see how much shit we had going on over here, right? The 618 is the golden zone, not for no reason. And we already went above it, but we tried to now hopefully close above it. If that happens, like it doesn't have to happen this week, but if it happens, then this is the next level, right? And that's a decent pump from here, right? That's 12% for the average altcoin market. that might be 30-40% on your safe portfolio. You don't even have to gamble for these returns too much. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. So I definitely like what I see. That's the short-term target, right? But again, if you take a look at the longer-term targets, then that's a completely different story. Now, the altcoins that I think are worth accumulating. I said this in the Discord. So again, check out the link below for the Patreon. Soon we're going to migrate. We already gave it a new name. It's Alpha Factory right now. A lot of stuff is going to be added right here. So do check it out. I said right here as well, as you may know, I hold a good bag of Altura. This week it pumped 100%, so I took out 1/3 of my position. And I'm looking to put it back in when it hits, you know, 3.5 cents, give or take. If we look at Altura, I think that this is a real good performer because Altura had some news, but they kind of just announced the announcement, right? The news isn't really there yet. But the price already responded quite sick to that, right? Let alone if the money, like we just discussed, really flows back into altcoins and Altura pushes out stuff, right? So therefore, I saw the third because Altura has so much more in the tank, right? Like utilities that, well, look at it. This doesn't look that to me, right? And that's just based on an announcement of an announcement. Well, I think there's more to come. However, the pump was a bit too hard for me to say like, well, this could be a very sustainable pump. Maybe it will, but on the other hand, it could come down a little bit as well. So I sold at 5.5 cents here, here somewhere. And I'm looking to get back in maybe already a little bit here, but especially the golden zone. You see that this is exactly the zone where there was some support and resistance. And this is a multiple day, maybe week trade, right? This is like, not if it doesn't happen today that the trade is invalid. Hey, it could take some time. Altura could do this. La 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 la. Maybe it doesn't even go down. I don't know. Right? All I know, patience in crypto is really important. Now there are a couple of coins that I think are like either on a freaking discount or showing strength, right? And both are negative and positive. If you look at an altcoin and it has been ripping, then you could look at it and be like, shit, so many great altcoins on a discount and I need to buy the one that's ripping, right? Like people buying Solana right now. Altcoin sitting at lows right now. And you're buying something that's at the high, right? It's like you go to a store with all beautiful clothes and everything is like 90% off. And you just buy the one thing that's fresh in, like full price. I get it. You have the nicest clothes, but then again, you have not the highest price. On the other hand, coins that are performing right now without an alt season are likely also the ones that are going to rip if we see an alt season. Well, when we see an alt season. And the coins that are now underperforming, it's still the question, how will they do during an alt season? So I would say don't go with the one or the other. Have a good combination in your portfolio of coins that are outperforming, coins that are underperforming, but maybe that you feel like, okay, this has some narratives that I feel like, hey, in the bull market, they can rip. But yeah, Solana is a coin that just doesn't stop. And yeah, Solana is just a crazy coin, man. It has so much going for it. If you look at Sol Bitcoin, then you can see that it is stuck, right? Solana ripping is just mainly showing for the last like year, actually, because it has been holding up against Bitcoin. It looks like Solana is outperforming, but it's not. Bitcoin is performing better, right? Bitcoin is way above all-time high. Solana isn't, right? And again, Bitcoin now completely flying, Solana as well. But if you look at Solana and Bitcoin pair, yeah, sideways. And that's what people are freaking euphoric about, actually, right? We will see the period where every coin almost goes up against Bitcoin. So Solana, if you look back at that in a year from now, you'll be like, wow, all my coins outperformed what Solana did right now. But let's see. If alt season comes, I assume that Solana will, you know, go great against Bitcoin. And yeah, Solana could surprise, even with such a high market cap, actually. So Solana is great. Now, another one that has real strength is Avalanche. Avalanche is actually, I think that at a certain point, a lot of people will come into crypto, look at Solana, be like, fuck, I missed it. What's next? And that's going to be Avalanche. It's the second best. It's a good chain. It has way better, the gaming narrative on AVAX is like, you have good games on Solana, but the adoption, yeah. AVAX and gaming adoption is sick. Gaming is going to be a big narrative, so AVAX is a no-brainer. And it's still quite cheap, actually, right? It's half of what it was in the mid-cycle top, while Solana is already above it. So AVAX is one that hasn't run yet, and I think it will. So AVAX, great buy, in my opinion. Personally, I had to take a little money out of crypto, but it was, what is it, 5% maybe? And I took a little bit of that 5% out of AVAX just because it ran. It gave me a lot of profits. I bought it cheap, right? And I had some good money on it. So I was looking also to buy AVAX back later because I sold at this price, give or take. But for now, it doesn't really seem to stop, actually. And yeah, it might rip. The little brother of AVAX is Beam. Beam is also like, wow, man. Look at this. This was, we said this on the channel. I said this on the channel a couple weeks ago. Like, look at this. These higher lows right here, right? This is bullish. And bam, broke out really hard as well. And I think that Beam is like a great example of a relative high cap coin that still has insane returns. It might have some trouble here at 2.7 cents. If it breaks, then it could fly all the way to 3. So maybe this is an area where it struggles a little bit. But once we break that, then it can fly. And don't get it mixed up. Sometimes people, they look at a coin and they be like, wow, it's already $1 billion market cap, right? It's not gonna rip anymore. Look at Cardano last cycle. This is insane. If you look at Cardano, look at the chart. Here it was sitting at here. Here, this was $1 billion, right? The absolute low basically here was $1 billion. Yeah, people, they may have looked at it and be like, wow, yeah, fuck that. It's not gonna run anymore. And that's where I did 100x after. 100x. Not even 2, 3, 100x on a high cap. I think we will see the same on, well, not I don't know. Not exactly 100x maybe, but we will see some high cap coins that people are now fading that will surprise a lot of people. And yeah, I don't know, man. If we look at Beam, it currently has a market cap of 1.2. It's kind of where ADA was back then, right? So I'm not saying that Beam will do 100x from him. I don't think so. But I am saying that Beam has a lot of upside. And it's a quite safe bet compared to the rest. And utility is safe, fair, right? I got into, look at this. I'm going to expose somebody. It's just funny. Look. Somebody said, where is it? Yeah, somebody responded to this video and he said, bro, DeFi is safe, whereas Luna, Celsius, and others, my portfolio, Upsec, Pal, AI is dead, right? Because 2 projects, they fucked up, right? So a complete AI narrative is also dead. Fuck with DeFi, just top meme coins, DeFi, gaming, and AI, they will fail, 90% is all garbage, blah, blah, blah. So again, there's somebody that kind of says like, only buy meme coins, low, you know, like no brain much in this crypto space. Just buy memes. That's what I understand. The other things are dead, right? Look, I just responded like relative to meme coins, it's very safe. And that's what it is, right? Because you have to understand, I said this in the video, I said like, yeah, some meme coins are blowing up, but meme coins are by really, really, really far the worst performers, like really by far in this market, right? Because Yeah, there are meme coins completely blowing up. But look, 99 point something percent like that comes on PumFam, for example, doesn't even get to the open market. It already rucks before it gets there. Then 90% plus that gets there eventually also rucks, right? And the one that don't ruck are not even sustainable, right? Meme coins are such underperformers. Like, it's like a real small percentage makes it, right? Therefore, I understand that you say like, hey, just buy top meme coins. But if you're buying the top meme coins, yeah, then you might as well also buy utility coins, because the top meme coins are not necessarily going to give higher returns, in my opinion, than the beams or whatever, right? It's just, when in the market are we? Now, at the moment, yeah, meme coins are outperforming. But I won't say like that. But no, utility isn't that, and there are projects quite safe. Yeah, are there some projects like Luna, Celsius, whatever? Yes, of course, but there are more DeFi projects like that. Like, that's saying like, I saw a Dutch guy smoking weed sometimes, so everybody in the Netherlands is fucking high. Like, it doesn't make sense, right? It's racist. You are a racist to these crypto coins, sir. Don't be a racist. So Beam. There are a couple of coins in this watch list I have to update though. Right? For example, I hold some coins that go against my own thesis, but I still like them because I'm a stubborn bitch, right? Like Trader Joe. Trader Joe, I hold Trader Joe. I'm staking Trader Joe. I'm getting some, like, because I like AVAX, so I'm liking the leading DEX on Joe. I like it narrative-wise. I don't like it chart-wise. Chart, it sucks. If you look at Trader Joe on its Bitcoin pair, then you can see that it's kind of making new lows, right? So purely chart-wise, I would say bad coin, bad coin. But narrative-wise, I feel like, okay, I'm gonna break my own rules for this one with not too much money. But I am gambling on Trader Joe. That's my gamble. Of course, like, if you want to gamble, you can take a look at PAL. Right now, what happened with PAL is very simple, actually. PAL is the showing like, hey, a couple of people can make or break crypto, right? With meme coins, that's even more extreme, right? You have the top 100 holders, mostly 40% of that is in like the owner wallets or whatever, or the high holders, they have a lot of market share, right? That's with meme coins. It's what people don't look at too much, but that's a real problem with meme coins. That's usually not the case with utility coins. PAL, it also was the case, because they had a proposal to merge with FED, I think, or ACI, one of those. And the ratio wasn't great, right? The PAL holders will basically take a loss on it. So people said, fuck you, PAL, I'm going home. And they kind of sold it off really hard. But it was a proposal. It was not like, hey guys, we're going to do this. It was just a proposal. So this was a FUD candle. And the proposal got declined, obviously. But now PAL is sitting at lower levels, right? It kind of brought it back here. Now people sometimes, they look at a coin and they be like, yeah, well, this was the news, so fuck that coin. On the other hand, here we had bad news, here we had bad news, here we had bad news. Eventually, these were all buying opportunities. Ignore the news, look at what the chart does. And the chart is actually saying like, hey, you know, this whole area right here, kind of right here, right, has always been a good buy. And then there are always people saying, well, not this time, because now we are here for this reason. Okay. But if you want to take a gamble, then PAL might be a good one. I stacked up on some extra PAL with a little money. Little, right? Assuming that it can go wrong, of course. At these levels where we are right now. And we'll see. We'll see. That's my gamble. And the closer we get into Altseason, the more gambles we can take, right? Like, for example, launchpads are a very obvious bet, in my opinion. There are in launchpads, of course, also coins that are high risk. Engine starter, not looking so great, right? From a chart perspective, you could say like, wow, dude, if you don't buy it here, then where the fuck are you going to buy it? This is the historical low. Like here, when it was this low, it did a 1000% gain almost. 10x, right? Yeah, we're now there again, right? And again, now people say, oh, yeah, it's because of this and that. If you cared about the news in crypto, you would have got yourself wrecked. If you looked at charts and cycles, and then you would have done fine. And sometimes you lose, of course. But historically seen, these are the levels to buy. Of course, where else? Here, right? So Engine Starter is one of these gambles for me that I feel like, yeah, Launchpad narrative will be back. That comes automatically with an alt season. Well, we just spoke about the fact that an alt season is like around the corner, like, hey guys, we're here. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but like, so Engine Starter, why not, right? There are IMX, like I still have some IMX, but I am IMX looking at my portfolio. Can I do something with this? Yeah, whatever. I am looking at my portfolio, and if you are on the Patreon, you see my portfolio and you know that this guy has way too much tokens, right? I have no overview. I have ADHD as it is already. This is a mess. I'm a mess. My life is a mess. I don't want to do this anymore. I need to cut on it. And I think that IMX might be one that I'm going to cut on. Why? I have a lot of gaming as it is already, and I need to, look further than that. I don't really... I lately hear a lot of like, and again, that's news. That's what I just told you to ignore. But I think there are better plays than IMX. And chart-wise, on the dollar pair, okay, fine. But on its Bitcoin pair, and again, that's more important than dollar pairs, really. They're just broke out of a very important support zone, right? So IMX has a couple of reasons for me to not be too bullish on it at the moment. Ronin is gonna rip. This is one of the plays that I feel like I do not have enough. I don't know if it comes down to this level again. That might be a steal. Ronin is gonna be the gaming chain, and I don't know, man. This is just a play that I feel like, okay, it has such a cult as well. There's the hype, the product, it has it all. This is the combination between a meme coin and a utility coin with actual utility. That's gold. So Ronin, I'm stacking up on that. One that I always will keep stacking up on. Seedify, I love taking profits on coins sometimes. Seedify is one that if it goes lower, I buy more. If it goes higher, I enjoy. I don't take profit. I'm married to this shit. Terrible thing to do, but I am. I cannot divorce. Seedify is an obvious trade to me. It's gonna fly in this market, no doubt. It was already at $5.80, $6, let's say, a couple of months ago. It's now at $140. Bitcoin is sitting way higher. Altcoin season should come. Launchpad narrative is coming back. New IDOs happening. This is a complete no-brainer. A real no-brainer. And then the same goes for, if you want to look at the lower cap, is S-World, right? I have a great chart right here. But Seed World is another project by Seedify that I talked about way more. Yeah, this is amazing. Market cap, fully diluted market cap. I think that Seedify is, with Seed World, the first project that completely tackled this problem. Because yes, there's inflation spreading over a long time though, but they are so good with token sinks. They give people a reason to stake the token. I locked my tokens. A lot of people did. And there will be way more reasons. So yeah, this is not all gonna hit circulation. And with a $16 million market cap, dude, I don't know. Axie Infinity, Sandbox, all-time high, fully diluted market cap was 25 billion. That's more than 100x from this point. This product is better. The market is better. I'm not saying this will do 100x. There's more competition right now. But I am saying that don't look at this and be like, oh, it's already so high. Like, it isn't. It's very low. And Seed World is a project with such a cult behind it, such a great team. They have proven themselves with Seedify already, the S-Fund token. This is one of the biggest no-brainers, if you ask me. I talked about this when it came out, did like, well, where was it? 1.5, it's 5x already. Yeah, that's the beginning. Beautiful, beautiful project, actually. As you know, there is a lot of gaming in here. I must say that's also one of the most obvious narratives in crypto. I hold some OXO. Also, I think that these levels are great. Right? If it ever comes near 11 cents, then that's a steal. I have some desync, but I don't know. It's not that I feel like this is... I know Alex Becker is super bullish about it. I don't know why. If he's honestly bullish about it, they maybe paid him. I don't know. I do like it, but it's not that I am like super euphoric. When it comes to AI, I rather have Render. Render is just showing like, yo, guys, we keep outperforming. If you look at Render on its Bitcoin pair, then how did I draw that line? I'm not completely sure anymore. I don't know. Whatever. Forget about it. Render showed like basically in what type of market we are. Bitcoin going up, Bitcoin going down. Render just kept on going up against Bitcoin. And really from March, when altcoins really needed to cool off, Render has given us another opportunity of going down. What was it? 60%-ish. Yeah. So Render is a great buy, in my opinion, right now. It might go a little lower. It might not. I don't know. These are some coins that I really like. I had some Volker Forged. I got out of it. I mean, the chart sucks, right? So I took my... well, I think I played... I took a little profit even. Now, you can, of course, look at now at the coins that are pumping. Like, wow, you know, Cardano pumping. Let me show you this. ADA USD. You might look at Cardano and be like, wow, it is going up hard, right? On the other hand, it's also just because Cardano and its Bitcoin pair has gotten wrecked for so long. And I know there's news again, but if you look at this, one, this candle isn't like different from this one or this one or this one or this one or this one, and it went lower after that every time, right? So one, it's too soon to say that the Cardano downtrend is over. But two, you'll notice what happens, right? People, they see a pump and they are really bullish about it again. Wait for, if you like it for some reason, wait for it to cool down. Nobody will give shit anymore. You won't as well. And then it might be interesting. But again, I would mostly say go with the winners. Caspar is one that I don't hold. And yeah, I said right here, I don't know if you remember, like Caspar doesn't look that strong anymore. There are lower highs. And it tanked really hard. And again, on its Bitcoin pair or on its dollar pair, it has been holding up. But hey, what good is holding up if Bitcoin is making new highs? You could have been a bit in Bitcoin, right? So Caspar has now, I don't know, it had some hype. With Caspar, I feel like, yeah, maybe the hype is over. Maybe not. I don't know. But at least the chart, the momentum, the upward trend, that's completely over. It's sitting at near the lows again. So not looking so good. And skip, like, I have some meme coins. I have bread. I don't mess around with these low caps. I have some bread. I have some SPX. I have some MAC. I have a couple. And yeah, that's all a gamble, man. It's worth 5% of my money. I don't really care. Yeah, I do care, but it won't hurt me if it all goes to shit, which I don't expect though. But I honestly think that Brad could be a real outperformer. And let's go through a list like DOT, don't even bother, right? ICP, a lot of people euphoric about it, but it's sitting at low, so there's nothing special about this. A lot of people were really bullish on Injective. And yeah, if you were bullish on it here, you might want to buy it now, because Injective, from the moment it had that huge hype, it's now down 70%, right? It's sitting at some big levels, so might be really a good buy right now. Maybe, I don't know. Litecoin, that's all I have to say about that. Again, XRP has a pump right now. Great. It's kind of what XRP does, right? It pumps really hard, and I understand why. Then it dumps really hard as well, because people have been, XRP is the most stable coin ever, right? So people are waiting so long for something to happen. Then it finally happens. Yeah, people immediately take the profits. They want to get out of that, right? Here as well, nothing happens for like 2018 to like 3 years. Then it pumps. Yeah, people get out of it. Now it pumps. You can see that a lot of this pump is already retraced, right? 127, it's now 17. I'll be careful with FOMOing into XRP now that people maybe talk about it. I'm not touching it, actually. And if you look at it on the Bitcoin pair, then you might be like, yeah, what the fuck actually happened, right? Nothing. Nothing happened with XRP. It was sitting at major lows, and now it's just sitting slightly above those lows. That's it. VRA is something from the last cycle that people are bullish about. If I look at VRA, yeah, chart-wise, it means two things. Or best buying opportunity ever, or don't even bother. And I think the second, because VRA, I don't know, man, it didn't get much relief. It had a very short wick here. But overall, it has been down only and hard, right? Down really, really, really freaking hard. I don't know where it is even right now here, right? No, yeah, somewhere like that. Down 97%. Yeah, I don't know. Quant, same story. People were bullish on it. Quant was supposed to get to $2,000, $20,000. Well, great job. So I would say stick with the winners. And maybe a couple losers, but that do show some signs of strength for this market. Other than that, I do think it is most important to just look at the market and know where we are right now, right? There is one thing that's a little bearish. USDT is at the trend line, right? Every time it kind of bounced right here. Hasn't been that great for altcoins. If you overlay the altcoin market right here, then you can see that. Let me just mark off some things, because you should also be prepared for some bad times, right? That's simply what crypto does. So here we were at the bottom around this area, and here we were at the bottom, and here we were at the bottom, and kind of here, let's say here exactly at the bottom. So look what happened every time USDT dominance touched the trend line, right? Here, altcoins was the last year, basically half year of bear market for altcoins. Here was the start of the 2022 bear market. Here was kind of before that double top. It went up after that again, luckily, but it was also where altcoins went from, I don't know, 350 billion to 150 or so. Altcoins got flushed out right here in 2021, hard, right? Here, also, before we had a massive correction from 20 to 10 billion. Here, massive correction, and then here, start of the bear market. So kind of every single time we hit this, altcoins went down more than 50%. We might break this now though, right? But this is something that you should consider, okay? Overall, I do not think that we are in the stage of the market now where we should go down really hard. Does it have a temporary cool off? Sure, we ran up really hard, so where's the correction, right? But I don't think it's going to be a 50% flush out. I am having some cash on the sideline in case it is, though. Be prepared for everything. Doesn't matter how bullish, bearish you are. Be prepared for the other side as well. I want to leave it there. It's a long video, I know. But I hope you get a bit of an understanding of how the market is looking right now. At least the way I see it. The altcoins that I think are worth buying, and also why I think they are worth buying. And the potential downside that we could still have. And do not forget, last thing, do not forget, if you are now in some good profits, take them, right? Take them. It doesn't stay euphoric forever, okay? Again, if you look at the USDT dominance, let's say the same happens as what always happened, which is always the most likely scenario. In hindsight, you wish you took some profits. Make sure that you leave enough in the market for if it does run, right? You want to find that perfect balance. Then you are comfortable. If the market goes up, down, sideways, I'm good. But make sure you are the same. So that's it for now. Please like the video. Let me know what coins are you eyeing. I want to know what you are looking at. Well, okay. That's it for today. Have a very nice rest of your weekend.